Nelson, how's things? How's the week been?
Yeah, obviously after the defeat, tough, but players focused and willing to get back to winning ways again. Off the back of that game, which in terms of performance we were there. It's just that moment that changed the game, but it's been okay. Boys fighting to get things done quickly. That's what we are looking for.
One more result and
Yeah.
you'll be pulled clear for sure of the relegation. Obviously you're playing a team right around you, so it feels like a kind of key fixture in your running.
It is, yes, but it was key fixture in Carlisle. It was last week, and then we just missed those two chances to get the job done. Obviously, we were close to do it, Carlisle, after that game. But again, it's just like you say, it's just one final push to get it done, and once it's done, then you can start thinking about the future.
Does your preparation this week have to be more on yourselves than ever? Because I guess it's very difficult to kind of know what to expect from MK Dons, because obviously they've appointed a new manager.
Yeah, it's been like that. Obviously, we always try to look to ourselves and improve in areas that we feel is right to improve. But obviously, after the opposition changing their manager, we've got an idea about their squad, about the way they have been playing. Obviously, in 2 days, I am sure he would be saying that he cannot change too much. I think they will be looking for a player reaction more than anything else. But on our end, we have to match them up in terms of effort and commitment.
And how are you looking in terms of player availability this week?
Yeah, so again, we've seen Adlin back for a couple of minutes last week. We had that disappointment of Maka in the warm-up, rolled his ankle. It was not that serious. I think he's been off feet, but he's done most of the session today. Still a little bit of pain, so we're going to reassess him tomorrow. But hopefully he'll be available for the game. And yes, that's probably the main concern. Also, Glennon had a scan. Scan came back clear, so we still have a little bit of pain there. Maybe it's just overload. He's been playing much more this season than he ever played, so not sure if available for Friday, but definitely for Monday he'll be available.
If you do get that result that kind of secures definitely your status for next season, what do you kind of look for in the remainder of the season? Because I know managers always say, "Oh, we've got to stay professional, etc." But obviously, when your kind of objective has been met, what is it that you've been looking for from the
Yeah,
players?
we've going back, just your question is, we've been speaking about that since we reached 46 points. I mentioned that we need to finish the seasons strong. I think that's the common thing, like you just asked. I think we are looking for that. But it's definitely still after that game, still 3 games where we still have chance to especially some of the boys that feel that probably they didn't even meet the expectations to do that, and definitely utilize those 3 games to have even more strong ideas for the future.
It's really probably important for the club, obviously, because of how you ended last season. Obviously that was a different manager, but it was such a kind of historically bad way to end a season, and I guess it's important. You don't want Newport to have that reputation of, oh, once we're safe in April, basically that's it, we kind of get ready for the summer.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, and I think I mentioned that after the game, because different head coach now, and you don't want it the same way, so you cannot always blame the same person. We are here to take all the blame. I get that, but you don't want to go and finish the season like the club finished last one. So, and players know that. We spoke about that, but it's down to them to go there and deliver. And last game they have to take the responsibility for us losing that game in the way we lost, because there were people not even knowing or standing in the position that was set before the game. So when those things happen, they have to take the responsibility for some of the results not going in our way. But obviously, ultimately, I am the responsible. But it's about them being at it and focused. And in that particular moment, they were not.
And obviously, as players who are out of contract this summer, who the club will have to make a decision on, a lot for them to prove in the remainder of the season, if that's...
Yeah, some of them have had enough time and chances to prove and to show. I wouldn't be honest if I say now it's like. So I think that we went beyond that mark now. We're just staying obviously professional as much as we can be in terms of contracts. Obviously, the club hasn't progressed much on that sense with anyone, because we still haven't finished our job, and we're still 1 point maybe, and we could have done it last 3-4 weeks ago, but for some reason we are not quite there yet, and that's why we haven't progressed much in that area there in terms of contracts and who's staying, who's going, or whatever needs to be done to make sure the club is stronger next season, which is what we've been speaking. I don't think anyone can accuse me of saying or selling dreams that are not doable. We said that we wanted a comfortable season. For periods we did have that comfort, and we're still in those brackets, I would say. But again, sometimes expectations go beyond what we could deliver, and obviously if you tell me that everyone was expecting us to be in the 3-4 first spots of the table, obviously this season would not be good. But I don't think people were asking that, although I think sometimes everyone wants that. We also want that, but like we've mentioned before, the challenge this season was what we've done. A lot of changes, a lot of young players. We met those objectives of giving 12 debuts, which is a lot. No other team done it. We still actually could have been more, because Nelson Sanka also played. He had his debut last season, and a couple of others boys who had already league minutes, like Kieran Evans, like Noah, for example. So would add more numbers to those groups of players. So we've done that. We've done that. We laid foundations, and hopefully the club can make a huge progress next season and be in the playoffs or whatever everyone feels is the target.
Have you had discussions with the owner about your role for next season? Is that something that's planned for at the end of the season?
No. Yes. No. I mentioned that, and what I said last week, what I said in November. I think when we started everything, we mentioned about it suited me to have 1 year contract and the club as well, because we understood the changes for the club and for me as well. I have a young family as well, so we needed to assess everything. So the plan was that we didn't change the plan, and that conversation has to be done obviously end of the season, or whatever they feel is right. But I think I felt comfortable from the very beginning with this like that, and since that first day I've giving my life for the club 24/7, and I will finish doing that. Simple as that.
Thank you, Nelson.
That's okay.
With MK, that's probably is that your highlight of your time here? That boxing? No, it wasn't Boxing Day. Before Christmas.
Thursday, yeah.
Yeah.
No. I think we had could be the 0-0 away with Notts County, for example.
Yeah.
It's been obviously a lot of highs and lows. The lows are connected to a lot of events, injuries, sending offs, a lot of changes. I'm not gonna find excuses, but it makes a lot of things difficult when you can't settle, especially at the back. You know, in terms of defensively, I never felt we were strong enough, and we know how defending well and conceding few goals help teams. That's why I think Bradford, Wimbledon, they are the best defense in the league. That's why they are there. So we had highs and lows. Obviously, MK Dons was a good game. I think was very good for everyone. But there was also other good games where we could see the spirit, the fight, and some good football as well. And why not saying, you know, for example, like I named Notts County, for example, was also a good game, or even Wimbledon away, where I felt we played well. But again, little mistakes, little things let us down. And obviously that area of conceding too many goals probably in set plays is a big one for me.
Not Kings up, when you beat them here, I thought, well, they're beating a promotion contender. It's surprising where they are. I know you're about look at yourselves, but it is surprising to go to a club like them with them.
Yeah, no, obviously they are. You know, their expectations, you couldn't compare with ours, and we still have one more point than them. If you compare budgets or whatever, which I don't want to get into this type of things, but I'm just responding to your question.
Absolutely.
Yes, when you see that, but they are where they are for a reason as well, and we are where we are for a reason, and we just have to face this game. As important for us is definitely also important for them, because I'm sure they will be looking to get them mathematically safe like we are, and it's going to be a tough game for both teams.
With Anthony Glennon, was that hamstring?
Yes, it was hamstring, but again, like I said,
tightness,
we know these players never played as many minutes they had this season. I mentioned Lennon, you can name Bobby, or even CBR, comparing to, you know, a couple of others, Cameron Antwies, and all of them.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that,
yeah.
All of them. So you expect them to be towards the end of the season with a little bit fatigue there, but like we were lucky, you know, that there's no damage in the muscle. It's just fatigue, and as a precaution, maybe he's only available for Monday, like I mentioned.
It's Tom Davis, because he's getting close. Is he?
He's getting close. He's done. We are managing his effort according to what the physio feels is right as well. So there are sessions. He trains with us. Sessions that he just does half. Today he's done a full session with us. So fingers crossed, everything goes according to what we expect, and he can be available to help the team. If possible, he's still this season. If not, fully fit for the next one.
And one man, Oliver Greaves, because he had trouble in stringing together his knees. Is that still?
No, he's still no. He's actually in beginning of this week. He had to leave the session halfway because he felt his knee not quite right. So it's been you know, as you know, if he was, we started him, didn't we? First game away, he scored in that game against Cheltenham. But a week after, he had his knee completely swollen, and obviously, you know, and in football works, sometimes you just lose your momentum, and then it's hard to get back into the team. And in the position he plays, you have Bobby, you have Haji Boy now, the club signed Josh Martin, and you've got Spellman in there. So, you know, I get your point, I get the point people want to see, but the reality is this, it's because of that. It's not rocket science.
Yeah, absolutely. One real positive, Joe Thomas has, there's obviously plenty of growth still for him to do, but
Yeah.
he's really taken his chance, hasn't he? So,
Yes, and I think the message has to be spread is that we expected this season to be a lot of Josh Thomas type of players, because there was a player that probably had another good chance for him here. Like the club tried to give chances to, and he met the expectations that the club had with him. So this season was also, or mainly for that as well. So, and that's why the club signed 2 years contracts with a lot of them, which sometimes this league they don't do. So that shows, what we were asked to do. It's been done. It just need that mathematically done to fill that with the debuts we've done with these young boys having chances. But there are others. They did have chances and they didn't meet the expectations. But we knew that as well. It's impossible, isn't it? So we know. Let's be honest. So again, that was a plus, very very good one. We still, for example, Kai coming from Haverford West, is physically still, we still have to manage him. He still needs to grow. He's still recovering from the last game. So he didn't train properly yesterday because of that. So I can share that with you. So there are others, just to give you examples, that they still are pushing to meet what we and to meet the expectations that the club had with them, because they've shown they've got quality, probably not quite there, like you just said about Joe Thomas, but still more to grow, and that is the motivation that everyone has to see.
what do you like about Joe in particular? What is it that you?
It's just his composure and the way he reads the game, and moving forward. Obviously, any team wanting to have someone always composed on the ball, reading the game well, taking good decisions. Is that he brings to the game, definitely. But obviously, he knows he needs a lot of areas to improve. Well, I would like to see him crossing more often, not only 1-2 crosses per game. He should be doing 7, 8 more runs, that type of thing. But that will come, and I think we have to understand that his very first year in the Football League at this level, and taking into account that, we just have to be proud what he's done and praise him.